Yeah, now this is a nice little device. A bicycle generator system. It looks like it's fairly portable too and works with just about any bike. I'm going to have to find out how many amps the thing produces and what its maximum output is. You know what the maximum power output is on this device?
Well, it depends on how much you want to go. If you're really powerful, you can probably get about 60, 120, about 300 watts out of it.
About 300 watts, and
yeah.
How long, what kind of duration can people put out that much energy in general?
Not many people have been able to sustain that, okay?
Right, absolutely. You'd have to be a bike racer pretty well.
Most everybody is able to get the 4 lights going. Each of them is 60 watts, so that's 240 watts. But after about 2 minutes, they're all going, and as you slow down, then it gets dimmer and dimmer.
Dimmer and dimmer, sure. Does it have a voltage regulation system that
no,
works?
Not this one. No. We have a little generator here, and then hook it up, so we're not there. But a voltage regulating system is really a good idea, because that's what we need for our electric utility system.
Yeah.
We're really on a delicate balance right now. We don't have a good system out there. We need to fix it.
Yeah, I know there are some kits and building systems that I've seen for these similar devices that do incorporate a voltage regulator. And one way to do it that I've been told about is to basically connect through a battery system.
Right.
You use a power inverter and then go to the battery, and then you're going to get your 12 volts.
Betcha. Absolutely. So that's one of the things that we do is the energy efficiency. We're looking at kind of at a larger scale as well with wind turbines helping, especially in the outlying communities where they can pay as much as $1 a kilowatt hour for their power. You live in who's your?
I'm in Wasilla here.
Okay, so you're a Matanuska Electric Association. So you guys have it pretty good. You probably pay somewhere between 12, 13 cents a kilowatt hour.
Yeah, my electric bill is extraordinarily low. I only use one light in my cabin, and the only other electric device I really run is my laptop and a refrigerator. Okay. So my monthly bill is like $12.
Yeah, I keep mine down too. I'm with you on that.
It's really very little. But if the power ever went out, you're SOL. So
yeah, right.
You got to think about what you're going to do in that situation.
Right. Our goal here is to keep the cost low. I mean, energy efficiency, being smart, using less is the first and easiest way to do that. And then we're trying to look at other, like on the big hydro here, trying to get that so we can power half the state or half the rail belt with large hydro. So we're working on that. We're also got geothermal. We have our Bradley Lake. Probably one of the cheapest sources of energy that Matanuska Electric has is through our Bradley Lake project. There, on that one, we have 125 megawatts of power, so it's 125,000 kilowatts that it produces pretty much year-round, and you pay 4.5 cents a kilowatt hour for that. That's the cheapest energy around, and that was the same price when that project was built in 1992. It hasn't gone up at all, whereas everything else has gone up. Gas has gone up tremendously since then. The big dam that they're talking about building for that one. Yep. Well, what's the estimated cost on the dam? $5.2 billion. So they figured to float a bond for it or something like that? Right. The way we're thinking, Rural Utility Services has talked to us, and they could contribute as much as $2 billion. Right now, their interest rate's 2.8%. It doesn't fluctuate much above that. We're anticipating an average of 5% bonds, but if we could get that 2 or 3% there, then that would really help us overall. And the goal is to keep the cost down. And once this product is paid for, then it's like a gold mine for the state. So we're trying to do that, but it's obviously a capital-intensive project, so the state has to be thinking about working with the utilities to keep the cost low, starting off with, and then it won't change. Or that's the way we're looking. That's how Bradley was financed.
Yeah, the main thing that concerns me when I talk about big hydro is there's a lot of ecosystem repercussions to it. I mean, and I don't know if you're familiar with the problems that they've had in China with subsidence and so forth, and the bigger the project and the larger the dam, the more various types of, you can actually get local climate changes because there's so much water piling up in one area, so that concerns me. I like micro hydro better.
Micro is good. One of the things we're looking at all these things, okay, so the subsidence, seismicity, the ecosystem change, we're looking at all those, and you know, if you go to our website, sitnawatanaHydro.org, you'll get some additional information. We're trying to do this right. I've worked on projects in the lower 48. I've done a project in China, Africa. I've done several there that are on it, and what I try to do is integrate it into the environment and sit down with the people. What do we want to try to achieve? I mean, people say, well, we don't want to mess up our Susitna River. Well, this is a little brochure on the project. We don't want to mess up the ecosystem, right? So I mean, that's really a goal. So how do we mesh the two together? So we're doing a lot of studies right now, working with Fish and Game. We've done a tremendous amount of radio tagging of fish. When I was here in the 80s, there were a lot more fish in the system, but now we have a lot more northern pike. We're looking at habitat, spawning habitat. Are there changes that have taken place there? How is overfishing affected, if it has? So all these things we're trying to look at and understand how it all pieces together so that we have a good system plan for going forward, assuming the legislature and you and the rest of us in the state think this is a good deal. Okay? So we all have to kind of weigh in on it at some point.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty big, long-term project. What's the estimate on building time?
7 years.
7 years to get it up. Yeah, that's a pretty long time. Pretty long amount of lead time.
But the other thing we're trying to do here too is during that 7-year period, stimulate helping the economy. Trying to do as much of the work with Alaskans as we can. So that's one of our, we can't violate federal laws, so we need to be aware of those. So I can't say, okay, no lower 48 firms can go in and you have to be an Alaska firm. I can't do that. But what we can do is help structure it so that we get as much Alaska content as possible. So those are things that we want to try to do.
Right, and well, a lot of people still, think of Alaska as, too cold and whatnot. I don't want to go work up there. So I think you end up getting your share of Alaska business.
I love it up here, man.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I'm a hockey guy, so this is my mecca. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot.
Well, thank you. Appreciate you coming by.
All righty.
Thank you.